What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Schoolboy Roll Up, the wrestling podcast you didn't know you needed. After you've listened to us, hop on the socials, join the conversation with us there. Schoolboy Roll Up on X, Instagram, TikTok. We're big on TikTok now. We got followers. We got major followers.
Huge
Amounts of followers. Abdul, fellas, how we doing tonight?
Doing stupendous.
Okay.
It's a great night.
It's a great night.
I'm not doing so great. My streak is over. You have beaten me on your Backlash prediction.
And it's funny, too, because, yes, I did. But I only beat you by one. So, like...
Oh, yeah. I didn't do that.
You're still running away with it here, Nick.
Yes.
But,
I'm just falling further and further away.
Further behind there, Greg. But we'll delve more into some of those picks a little bit later. I got something that I got to get off my chest, all right?
Speaking of picks,
yes, exactly. Greg knows where I'm going with this. So, first I'll say, all right, the Knicks, we lost Game 5, got smoked. They just want to do it at Madison Square Garden on Friday night, a.k.a. tomorrow night. This will be released tomorrow. We recorded on Thursday. So the Knicks, Tatum got hurt. Boston was home. I feel like they were bound to win that game. All right, whatever. Luke Cornett's not going to come out like Bill Russell again. Derek White's not going to be Larry Bird. I'm confident in the Knicks clearing this up at 6, but that's not where I want to go with this.
Okay.
I have a major problem with the NBA draft lottery.
Why?
Why do I have a problem with it? Because for the third time that I could think of in my tiny brain, there has been a small market team that has traded a top player in the league or lost one to free agency to a major market team, and the NBA has then gifted that team with the number 1 pick against all percentages. So this year, the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, who, everybody knows is street clothes. He's got nothing going on. He's always hurt. And everybody, just panned it as a horrible, horrible deal. So what happens? The Mavs had the 9th. We went about this yesterday, right, Greg? The 9th worst, yes. the ninth worst odds to get the number 1 pick. And they jumped all the way up.
What were the odds, Rob?
They were like,
do you remember?
1.8%.
1.8.
Yeah, exactly.
1.8.
1.8%, and they won it. Okay? So that happened. The New Orleans Pelicans in 2017, I believe it was, they traded Chris Paul to another Los Angeles team, the Clippers. And as part of the deal, they had the 7th worst record. The NBA gifted them the number 1 pick overall, and they got Zion Williamson, who has turned out to be a bust because he never plays. But, whatever.
Good when he's there.
The Cavs in 2013, I believe it was, when LeBron left for Miami. And they drafted, they had the 9th worst record, and they drafted Anthony Bennett, who also turned out to be a complete bust with the number 1 overall pick. But here's where my problem comes in. Now, I hate the fact that these small market teams are just getting completely shit on. But the Knicks, from 2002, and Nick, you'll know this because I know at one time you were a big Knicks fan. 2002 to 2022 were in the lottery 16 times, okay? 16 times they were in the lottery. You know how many times the Knicks moved up even 1 slot from their lottery position? Just take a guess.
0. Wow, I nailed it.
0 times.
I mean, this rant had to go somewhere.
You were the pick master. You know how many times they moved down from their draft slot?
More than 0.
More than 0. 5.
3. Oh.
5 times. So that means 11 times also. They just stayed where they were. And it's clearly rigged. It's clearly not a lottery. It's clearly just screwing over a lot of teams. ESPN says nothing. TNT says nothing. All these partners say nothing. People are pissed off. I just don't get it, and it pisses me off.
Wow, thank you. Wow, deep insight.
This is deep.
You didn't hear that on Sports Talk Radio or Reddit. You
Yes.
put that all together yourself?
I put that all. No, come on. I put this all together myself.
This is impressive.
This is
Have you taken it to
Adam Silver at his complete worst. NBA commissioner Adam
Sports
Silver.
Talk Radio.
This conspiracy theory runs deep.
It runs deep, man.
And the facts are there.
Well, but the issue is Rob keeps referring to small market Dallas.
Yeah,
because
they're a big market, though. I mean, like,
let's talk markets. I believe it goes New York as number 1.
Yeah.
Goes.
Okay, wait. Let me amend it. I mean, like, what I mean is that Dallas got it this year. Utah is the team that gets screwed. They had the number. They were the worst team, and they moved down to 3. It's just so Dallas could move up to get Luka. I mean, you know,
because I'm thinking you're saying Dallas is the small market.
No.
Dallas is a major market.
Yeah, no. But you know, they're not New York or LA.
Yeah.
But
no.
You know, Utah's the team that's getting screwed. So
you don't want to screw Utah.
Who wants to screw Utah? There's plenty of fine people out in Utah that hopefully listen to our podcast.
Utah and Ghana, we've got those markets locked up.
What I did see is that we've had some listeners in Russia as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Not even kidding. I don't know on what platform it was, but I did see Russia show up, which was kind of funny.
Taking over the world, baby.
Is that a coincidence that happens with the return of Rusev?
Well,
oh yeah, there you go.
Maybe they.
I mean, like, I know he's Bulgarian, but let's be real. They have him basically being like Duffel.
In the general sense of what, like, Americans don't process Bulgarian as a nationality. Like, he's vaguely Eastern European, so therefore he is Russian.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
It's Russian.
They're like, he's Russian.
If you sound a certain way, you're just Russian.
Like, that's how American brain works.
And then before it was you were a Soviet, but now you're just Russian.
Yeah, even though there's other countries out there.
There's a million of them. Yeah,
we gotta start talking about Sputnik.
Sputnik was
all the
big.
Russians.
Big, huge.
Shout out to all the cosmonauts.
The cosmonaut.
Really leaning into this Russian audience of one guy.
Who clicked on it?
One view. We see you, Russia.
We see you. We love you. We need more Russians. We need, Gunther's practically Russian. He's more.
Right, there you go. Yeah. Anybody who's not Italian or French is Russian.
Yeah. Forget that he's like, I know Austria is not Germany. Obviously, it's Austria, but
But it's also Russian.
It's also Russian. It reminds me of your shirt last week, Nick. China don't care.
Yeah, I mean, look at another one. Russia does care.
We need that shirt. Cosmonauts care. So I appreciate you guys letting me get that off my chest. I feel like now I have a platform.
Dude, if that's an original sports thought that you just had, like, you're putting it out there. People are going to be copying that analysis.
They're gonna. I'm gonna post it everywhere.
All the bitter Utah.
Yeah, this guy's awesome. Let's listen to
the podcast.
Let's support it. Please support it. We want you to support it.
He's complaining on our behalf.
Great job. Yeah,
so
you
really complain about the Knicks.
Utah. You only had so much success with John Stockton and Karl Malone and Greg Ostertag for so long. And now you're struggling with Donovan Mitchell gone and Rudy Gobert gone. But I digress. What do you want to talk about, fellas?
Oh, that's never been said.
It hasn't.
Want to talk about what we thought about Backlash, guys?
What do you want to hit me with? You want to hit me with Backlash?
Yeah, I mean, there's been 3 wrestling shows since last we met. So,
what did we think of Backlash?
Oh, expectations were on the floor.
Yes.
So this thing exceeded expectations. It's a solid B. It punched above its weight. That's my assessment.
That's a good term too, Nick. I like that. Punching above your weight. I like that.
What exactly does that mean, though?
Punching above your weight class. like a boxer.
It means for a B-level pay-per-view with a dog meat card that everybody.
Yeah,
was
but like
banging on.
everyone can punch above their weight. It doesn't mean you're successful. Like
you're shadow boxing with yourself then.
it's like you're
Okay, that's good.
right.
Whoa, Greg tried.
Greg went somewhere else there for
He left the room. I
10
think
seconds
briefly.
at least.
I was gone.
You
I
were
was gone.
gone, man.
This expression is not well thought out,
Yeah.
but neither is.
Neither is anything I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, it's past my bedtime.
Mm.
No, I thought it was a very good pay-per-view. Let's say main event. Main event was excellent. It's nostalgia fest right there.
Yes.
Like, you're pulling out some way too many RKOs, way too many attitude adjustments. You got R-Truth running in.
Thrilled. It was great.
Thrilled. See, I'm starting to formulate some thoughts again, guys.
There you go.
Okay, good. I didn't realize you needed to have some sort of ailment to be able to speak. Greg's like in good health,
Greg,
and therefore incapable of
it's
forming
still
a sentence.
incapable. Well, I thought the matches were great. I feel like the wrestling was great. It just, the thing that bothered me, I guess, is that if it didn't happen, nothing would have changed. And I hate to say that, but it's like it didn't really happen. Like, okay, there was some good wrestling matches, but like, did it matter? I don't know.
I mean, you are seeing advancement with like Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Yeah.
So, and then you're just gonna watch Penta on Monday night just hit the Mexican Destroyer on Carlito. Carlito, I think, not even plan to talk about. Carlito is the sleeper pick of the first half of 2025. This guy is just here to take insane bumps.
Yeah, he's eating it.
Outside the ring.
None of them in the ring. Guy doesn't actually wrestle.
I mean, just Monday night, most people probably didn't even see it. He just takes a Mexican Destroyer on the outside of the ring. Just
jumping off of JD McDonough's back.
He's there to get beat up, and he's taking it so well.
Do you think he must know this? And he's probably, I hope he's playing into it, honestly. Because he's doing a good job of it,
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
A lot of times, could say an Adam Copeland or a Cope or an Edge, whatever you want to call him. They're always talking about putting over new guys. Carlito is putting over everybody right now by just taking brutal finishers outside the ring.
He's going to be hard to keep one-upping himself. Just every match that's part of the Judgment Day shtick is that Carlito gets demolished.
Completely demolished. I would still love to see, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, I would love to see him take a bite of the apple and then get demolished and the apple spits out of his mouth.
And that's definitely happened.
It's already happened, Rob.
Yeah. But not recently, right? Like the spears and the Mexican Destroyer.
I'm pretty sure it just happened with the spear.
I think it happens every time.
All right.
See it.
Yeah. Listen, there's going to be an amazing moment that happens.
Yes.
Where Dominic Mysterio frog splashes Carlito through an outside table,
and it turns into apples.
Yes, that would be amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Carlito, for providing us with much good entertainment.
Maybe Carlito feuds with someone else who gets a different fruit.
He just sells a really crappy finisher, but sells it really well.
He's been doing well with
a schoolboy roll up.
Hey, deadliest move in professional
wrestling. Gets the job done.
So I will say that with the Backlash picks, I was 5-0. Nick was 4-1, and Greg was 3-2.
Does Greg's fantasy booking lose legs with how poorly he can pick the outcome of these matches?
It's so odd to me.
Guys, am I punching below my weight?
You're punching
very much
below
so.
your weight.
Very much so.
You're going down, man. But anyway.
what I'm doing.
You're going down, man. The one that you both got wrong was Becky Lynch, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you both got Becky Lynch wrong.
We thought that her run was over, but WWE loves Lyra, and the crowd's getting in on her little woo thing.
You thought her run was shorter than Leprechaun's?
Everyone wants to be a bird.
Everyone wants to be a bird.
She's showing more personality in this feud than she has in her entire run previously. So good on her. Let's keep.
Do you think
going.
they're gonna pair her up with Birdman?
I mean, that would be incredible for her.
Which
and the opposite effect of Travis Scott.
You would
working on my bird noises.
You would have to imagine that
this club,
Lil Wayne would be involved in that as well.
Lara signed to Cash Money.
Cash Money. She's Drake's replacement. So I guess, yeah. I mean, okay. One big thing happened this week
at Backlash.
At Backlash,
During
major thing.
Fatal 4-way U.S. title match?
Yes. And it is the debut of the one and the only Jeff Cobb.
It happened.
Now, I have to say, hearing Michael Cole be like, that's Jeff Cobb! Like, it just didn't hit at all. It just didn't. Like, you're expecting, like, this cool name or something, and it's just Jeff Cobb.
That's just your
that's
average
great.
everyday guy.
I love him.
Oh, my gosh. It's great.
It's great. Oh, my God, it's Jeff Cobb. It was totally, like, dubbed over.
Just average height, average name Jeff Cobb.
But
Here it comes.
Beast. Just a straight-up beast.
Oh, absolute beast, but just...
He did one move,
name.
and I turned to Greg and said, this guy's a better wrestler than Tangaloa.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
He did the splash on the outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty amazing that Tangaloa wasn't released, by the way.
Right.
Like...
He is hurt. I know Carl Anderson got released and he's hurt, but I guess typically they don't release injured people. Is that correct?
I don't think they care.
Yeah, you might be
They're
right.
going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
They don't let you go if they need to. Maybe they're bringing more bloodline storylines once Tangaloa returns.
Are they going to pretend that Jeff Cobb's in the bloodline?
Well, I guess like you can't have that many bloodline people, so like he comes in, and now Jacob Fatu has to leave. You know.
Well, good. Can't wait to see what the guy does. If he's there to be the new enforcer for Solo.
I feel like we need Bronson Reed in the bloodline as well, just so they can play like a game of twins. Like, is that Bronson Reed? No, it's Jeff Cobb.
I'd be good with that. And then they could just do the rollout where, he's down, one rolls out, the other rolls in, all fresh.
Well, it is kind of funny how like identical they look. Like it's like they have the same exact body.
Now Bronson Reed's bigger, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Guess
I don't know.
what?
Once he's got to start doing that.
Jeff
Cobb's got to start doing that.
He's way bigger, dude. Jeff Cobb 260, 270 max. Bronson Reed is $3 and change.
Yeah, Bronson Reed's a bigger boy.
Yeah.
But I'm good with the idea of bringing Bronson Reed back the same way he went out with the new bloodline. So you got Solo, you got Bronson, you got Corn on the Cob, you got Tamatanga nibbling at the Cob.
I didn't pick up on that.
So I'd be good with that group. And then you got Tangaloa just there to stand around.
He could be the Carlito. Just take bumps
there
on the
to
outside.
What would
that's kind of what they were doing with him.
What would
that eye patch for a while?
What would your thought? Yeah, that eye patch was brutal. I saw a lot of little clamoring online that people think that Bronson Reed will be coming back to be the third man in Rollins' group.
That doesn't make a lot of sense considering he began his whole like I give 1,000 tsunamis with Seth
Rollins. Yeah. So I'm not really sure how that would happen, but I don't know.
I think whoever's saying that is a complete moron, and we shouldn't even be giving them the time of day.
It's the IWC, Greg.
Well,
listen, as we saw before, I'm punching below my weight class tonight. I can't even form coherent thoughts. I have no time for the IWC. I'm my own man tonight.
My own man.
I stand alone.
Oh, God. Batista.
Just rock that.
nice.
We need to do that going forward. Just the Batista break.
There we go. That's how we'll start next show.
not even the usual intro. You don't even give a hello. We're just blasting pyro off the bat.
I think we do need some pyro at some point. We
just
set it off in all of our houses at the same time. It's just black marks on the ceiling.
But no, I don't think you're seeing Bronson Reed in that group. If we're going there, I put it out to you the other day, Rob. I think we're looking at the Sami Zayn turn. Put Sammy as that third party. Sammy makes the turn. He's seen that his way isn't working, and he needs to go with Seth and Braun and just accept that that's going to be his group.
Him turning in the tag match coming up sets the stage for Roman's return.
Mm.
You know, would work.
Well, who comes back first, Roman or Cody?
Roman. Cody's chilling.
Yeah, this is what happens now. If you lose at WrestleMania, if you lose the belt at Mania, you get to take off to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I guess so. I will say I was pretty tired of Cody. Although, like, the whole stuff with him and Cena got pretty good, maybe halfway through. So, but I do notice, like, a big void missing with him gone. So
there's definitely a void, and it can't be made up with 4 extra minutes of Jey Uso's entrance music.
God, I mean, I'm at the point where I just fast forward it. I hate to say that. But
not me.
You're still.
I was brought to tears due to narcotic usage. Like my back was bothering me from a golf outing, and I took some muscle relaxers, which tend to make me quite moody. And when he was eating that baby this week, I was just brought to tears. I was like, this guy's such an amazing champion. He's for the children.
Wow. It sounds like you were on some serious drugs, not muscle relaxers.
Emotional, 55th time he's done that entrance, but it just hit.
It just hit hard that time.
But it was like, oh man, I love children and I love Jey Uso.
The cool part though is when he does come out and do that, and like he gets the kid, like he's genuinely very happy to see that kid doing it. Like like, he's definitely into it. So I give him credit for that because that is pretty cool.
But you're not crying.
I'm not crying.
You don't really love it.
I'm not as big of a Jey Uso's fan as you are, I guess, Nick. I guess that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I love like a drug-induced cry.
Is this the only way Jey Uso gets even more over? Is just drug-induced?
It's just me being high and having a bad back.
It's just the whole crowd.
Definitely, he needs to tap into this market.
That's. He can
Do they change Jey Uso's music to make it even more kid-friendly? Like,
the Coco version?
Like the Cocomelon version of the song.
It's just me. Wow, how would it go?
It doesn't. Dude, all those songs sound the same.
Beat.
Dude.
It's more the beat.
Yeet. I want to yeet.
There you go. I knew somebody would have it. Good job, Nick.
I got it there. The Cocomelon.
I saw what you were putting out there, Rob. I didn't fall for the bait.
No.
Nick definitely did.
Not like I always fall for your bait. Nick definitely. He was on the ball.
Nick went right for it with that lovely rendition.
We've both heard that song way too many times the past 24 months. Another interesting thing from Backlash was the Karate Kid Legends section.
Lot to unpack here.
What did we think of that?
We need more fan sections that is related to shameless branding.
Yeah.
They did it with Slim Jim about a year ago. Now we've got a Karate Kid Legends section.
Now, how many of those people were paid actors? Because they did not look excited. They did not come to the show dressed like Karate Kid. They're like, oh, I'm going to Backlash, and I'm really excited about this upcoming theatrical release, so I need to
featuring Jackie
my
Chan.
attire. So,
I mean, listen, I'm excited. It's the first time we get to see Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio together on the silver screen.
2 Karate Kids, except one of them 70.
Karate geriatric.
And
I mean,
Ralph
I think Ralph Macchio's 60, correct?
Yeah, he's over 60.
Yeah. So I mean, they're both up there, but I mean, if you're not excited for Karate Kid Legends, what are you doing
in life?
I'm excited for the Long Boy section to come back.
Dude.
That's actually what they're building towards. This is the Road to Survivor series here,
where the Long Boy section will return with only paid actors who won't do phallic things with the Slim.
This year instead of a War Games match, we're just doing sections going at it. We got the Long Boys versus Karate Kids Legends section.
What people do not realize is that when that Long Boys section debuted, we were watching, I forget, was that SummerSlam?
Just Mania.
Mania.
And
a year ago.
We were all watching together, and I can't remember laughing that hard in a while.
All we did was talk about that for whatever the next match was.
Yeah.
We're like, bro, rewind it to the Long Boy section.
Dude. It just writes itself. That's all.
These corporate tie-ins are out of control, but if they make them this ridiculous and forced to the point where it's funny, I'll bring it on. I need something every week.
I mean, every one of those people had to have worked for WWE.
Must have.
Oh, gosh,
Must have. They were in the writer's room.
I mean, also is definitely a section of about 11 people. Yeah. So,
and the ages, genders, and races were all over the place.
Greatly.
No way these people know each other. Like,
they were all hanging out by the one table that Drew McIntyre was going to go through a few minutes later that just had like one cup on it.
The coffee cup with no coffee in it.
Hey, we have this table here next to.
This is like the Nick Pasta Night table, just ready.
It was exactly that, except they felt the need to put props on it of a singular napkin.
Oh my God!
A paper plate and an empty coffee cup with no coffee in it.
That's because Jeff Cobb drank that coffee before he debuted.
Oh, he doesn't leave any drops.
He doesn't leave any drops.
You got to know about Cobb. Cobb leaves no drops.
Cobb leaves no kernels and no drops.
The gimmick is he's over caffeinated. Because he's got such a busy family and work life. So just really building a
stressed out dad gimmick.
So relatable. It's stressed. That's why what's his face brought him into the bloodline.
It's Jeff Cobb. He's driving a Chrysler Pacifica.
Terrible traffic this morning. Oh, he's angry tonight.
Oh, man. Jeff Cobb struggling to get dinner ready.
He was in a 10-10 wins the whole way there to see if he could shave off a few minutes.
Waiting for Ann Ligori's helicopter report. Oh, man. Jeff Cobb, the legend will never die.
No, he's our GOAT. He's the GOAT of this podcast.
He is the GOAT.
The fact that he's materialized in the WWE means we get to legitimately talk about him every week instead of just talking about him for no reason.
He's usurped Jannetty as our number one.
Yes. That's what the shirts will be. We have the authentic Jannetty, and we'll have just Cobb.
Or why not Cobb?
Why not Cobb?
Or Cobb standing over a fallen Jannetty.
Cobb leaves no drops.
That's the shirt.
That's
Cobb
the shirt.
believes no.
That's the
no-
shirt. I would proudly wear that. I really would. No doubt.
Do you think there's any chance Cobb winds up getting Aleister Black's entrance?
I think so. We've had Aleister Black on this entrance. We've had a gorilla on this entrance. We've had Jeff Cobb on this entrance.
Maybe Jeff Cobb's gimmick is he's so busy because due to his family and work schedule, he doesn't have time to have original entrances. So he just takes other people's entrances.
Every week it's different. He comes out to the Cody song and like wrestling has more than one Bronson Reed.
Cobb.
I like this. I like where you're going.
Yeah.
We need better creative for him than
Cobb.
anybody.
Cobb is our GOAT.
Cobb is definitely our GOAT.
Listen, I'm not here to get the predictions right. I'm here to give you the big ideas.
And that's what we need. Our big ideas. Somebody that punches above their weight.
Big ideas for small markets.
Yeah, there you go. Utah, we talking about you.
Utah, we bringing Cobb to your city.
Jeff,
that's going to be his entrance next
week.
Cobb is now in your city.
Cobb game day.
Cobb represents the Utah Jazz at the NBA draft. It would have been the lottery. Maybe that's why they didn't get number one pick. There we go.
We just figured out a lot.
I just figured it all out. AJ Styles. I'm looking at our show sheet, and we got a lot of good stuff on there, and we got a lot of good stuff to get to. I feel like maybe we touch on a little bit of serious wrestling, which would be from Monday Night Raw, the AJ Styles Finn Balor match, which was, as Sheamus would say, a complete banger.
I mean, I felt like it had too much to live up to. I mean, I'm sure they've fought before, but these are two of the best guys ever. And they're just like, I mean, they know what they're doing. They can put on a good match no matter what.
I believe this was their fourth fight in WWE. Now, I think that's what they had said as I was watching it, which is why I just threw that out there. But the only one I really recall was the first time they fought, I want to say in whatever pay-per-view it was back in October 2017. And that match wasn't even scheduled to happen. Bray Wyatt had to sit it out at the last minute.
That's right.
Against Finn Balor. So you got a demon Finn Balor against AJ Styles filling in. And that was good, but I think because there was no build-up to it, it didn't work then. And it was Demon Balor, so he had to win. I just loved this match this past week. Sometimes you want to see a solid wrestling match in the middle of the show, not just all storyline advancement. And those two still have it. And obviously they're shared by the former leaders of the Bullet Club.
Which
that's
Michael Cole
mentioned
on Raw, which I thought was kind of cool. They don't usually say that kind of stuff.
The lore there is so deep that you got to mention it.
Yeah.
So.
Usually they're like, oh, these two were leaders of a faction all across the world. And I'm like, come on, just say what it was. And this time he did. So I thought that was cool. Just say it.
Yeah.
Say Karate Kid Legends, Michael Cole.
Oh my God, it's Karate Kid Legends. Yeah, that was a great match. I would love to see like a proper feud between these two. I don't think we'll ever get it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with AJ. He's kind of, I guess he's going after the IC, but Karrion Kross is around, so.
Who, by the way, I had seen that Karrion Kross was the top merch seller for the past week for WWE.
Huge.
And he wasn't even featured on Raw. Like, why are we dropping the ball with this guy? Why is he not, like, he's actually doing something that's interesting.
He's going to be the person that everybody wants to win Money in the Bank, and then he's not gonna.
Yeah, like LA Knight that one year.
Because you always want who's ever the most hype at that moment.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can keep it going, and
I
people will
don't
be
know. With the
cheering
way
while
they're
he's
doing
climbing
it, do
that
you even
ladder.
think he'll be in that match?
Was that?
Do you think he'll be in that match?
Yes, I think if the merch sales are the thing that they care about now. It's more important than having a good promo. He will be in the Money in the Bank match.
But the
That'll
cool
be good
part
for
is
Karrion, though.
he has a great promo, and I feel like his in ring stuff is good. I'm not going to call him like the greatest wrestler in the world or anything, but he's very, very, very solid. I don't get the holdbacks with him. Sucks.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is something they move forward with. I don't know that he needs to win Money in the Bank, but this guy needs to be on TV more.
He does.
And not during commercials.
No, where we
I'm
don't even see it.
I'm getting a little bit of like an LA Knight vibe from about 2 years ago, where they're like,
dude, remember when he climbed the ladder and everybody
went
wanted him to
ballistic.
win that year?
Yeah.
So that's him.
And then Dave
where they're
Priest
like,
won, right?
One in London.
I'm pretty sure Priest won. Yeah, because then he cashed in at WrestleMania last year and lost. Beat Drew McIntyre.
But yeah, it's starting to feel kind of like, I think when at first they moved LA Knight to the main roster, but they didn't have him as LA Knight, and fans were like, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm. And
then he turned to LA Knight.
Yeah.
And then they gradually built him up. Feel like we're on that kind of like precipice right now with Karrion Kross, where they need to do something more with him. But I don't think you're looking at him moving all the way to the top of the card. Maybe upper mid card, but I think he's kind of in that LA Knight role. I don't see them moving him all the way to the top. At least not.
But he can still be in
way
Money in the Bank match because there's 8 people in that match,
It could be 8.
There could be.
Yeah.
There might be 7.
Possibly 6. There might be 6.
We don't know.
I guess
we don't know the number.
They change it. I guess that's a natural transition. Thanks, Greg. To be, I feel like there's no hype for Money in the Bank. Usually, it's made a great big deal about.
We just had Backlash. These PLEs are crunched together.
We did.
We're getting one like every other week now up until SummerSlam.
But how do we not have qualifying matches this past Monday night? 0 qualifiers from this past Monday night.
It's in a month, no? And Saturday main event.
June 7th.
Yeah, we're less. We're 3 weeks.
Man.
What are we doing?
They're going to rush through these qualifiers. They're going to rush through.
Would have liked to even see something announced for like on next week's Raw. We have Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Nothing. They started talking about the draft, I think, didn't they? Didn't that get like a little bit of a mention here and there? Which I guess is happening.
They better do that.
May I thought it was
on YouTube. Okay, I don't know about the draft.
Are you talking about the WWE draft? Or are you talking about the NBA draft?
No, the WWE draft.
They better not do that again. I don't want to see it on TV.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's bad.
It is bad. And it's also meaningless since these guys are on both shows.
I was going to say that the issue is just that there's nothing really to the draft because they're like, okay, you could switch over for a week to cover. There's no exclusivity.
No. And then
you can watch Jeff Cobb on both shows. Okay. All right. So then why'd you draft him?
What?
In the 4th round.
They used to like to tell you that, Raw and SmackDown hated each other. And that's why they had to fight each other at SmackDown. I mean, Survivor Series.
They did.
That was like, why did they hate each other? They were just on different brands. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Brand supremacy.
Brand supremacy. They love that term. That's a good one, pal. I could see Vince loving that. So yeah, no qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. I'd like to see.
No, but we need the hype. I mean, to me, this is.
Now there's too many. Now they have to spend the time hyping up and building a card for Saturday night main event, and then we're gonna have the whole Money in the Bank build in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and we've got. Realistically, we've spoken about it before. You have 3 of your 5 biggest pay-per-views happening within about 3 months of each other. WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, in a very small window of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had this really
there's
stretched out
pay-per-views
road
in
for
between.
Mania. And now we're
Right,
just
they're
going.
squeezing in these Saturday main events and
It's
the other Worlds Collide thing.
Yeah.
And yep.
I don't
And
get
just
it.
all the shows we have to do, in Saudi Arabia because that's what we sign up for.
Mm-hmm. I think Night of Champions this year is in Australia, right? Am I mistaken?
No, I thought Night of Champions is Saudi Arabia.
Is it? For some reason, I thought there was some
Crown Jewel is going to be in Perth.
Crown Jewel's in Perth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which has become a weird Night of Champions thing if they follow the format from last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
Night of Champions will be on the 28th in Saudi Arabia, confirmed.
So the same month as the 2-night SummerSlam.
like, how are we fitting all this?
Yeah.
We just are, guys.
We just
are. And you know why
making the
I
room.
think they can do this is because there's no more. They're just cutting back on house shows. Everything is an arena show, like in a TV show now.
And everything's just in a stadium these days. They're like, we don't do arenas anymore.
You need stadiums for all the fans of Cobb.
You do. They should just do festival settings.
Food
Just
trucks.
Open fields.
Food trucks and,
Cobb Fest.
Cobb Fest. I love it. I love this guy. He's the best.
5 different types of Cobb.
Cobb. You got Cobbchella. Main headliner for
What
3
up,
nights.
Cobbchella? Oh man.
Well, speaking of no hype,
Yeah.
how about having Alexa Bliss return right before Backlash on that SmackDown, just to be Zelina Vega's
Lackey.
secret tag team partner that they announced the match 5 minutes before the match started.
Where?
Oh,
After the pop she got at the Royal Rumble, that's kind of a travesty when you lay it out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. They're like, all right, it's time to finally bring back Alexa. Here we go. All right, so Zelina goes set up a match with Chelsea, and 5 minutes from now, we're just going to have Alexa return.
Let's just come back. And she still looks like the Bray Wyatt character, which I don't understand.
She's just a little bit of everything these days.
Like, why can't we have the older, what was that? Little Miss Bliss? Is that what she went by during that time period? When she was champ.
I think she went by the Ring General.
the Russian Ring General. Because her name's Alexa, so she's got to be Russian, right?
It's true.
Yeah. But you're right. Just totally squeezing her in and not, people were clamoring for her to come back for quite a while. And I think that kind of led up, but they just...
I think they can't figure out, they're like, are we moving forward with her still being tied to Bray Wyatt or not? And we're just going to keep holding on to this Lily doll. She just carries a doll around, even though she seems relatively normal at this point.
She does seem relatively normal.
She's just a mishmash of things these days.
It's odd.
Like, we're just going to give her a little bit of everything.
Very odd. And she had her, back when she was herself, or whatever you want to call it, she had that banger theme song, which she doesn't come out to anymore, right? She didn't come out to it this week. She came out to
the one where we'd be like, "Bono, bono,
yeah,
bono, bono,
yeah,
bono." That one.
Yeah.
And then
that was
can't say I'm
Nick
familiar.
comes in and starts singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eat. I want to eat.
Eating it up.
There's gonna be kids on YouTube watching that now to go to sleep, especially when we tag it with Cocomelon. So there you go.
New audience.
That maybe not.
Yeah, we got a bunch of sub 5-year-olds listening to Rob go on a rant about the NBA draft.
What's he talking about? Who's Adam Silver? Put his picture on the screen. They're scared.
Yep, I think we've discovered an issue here. This truncated schedule. Too many PLEs, too fast.
Mm-hmm.
No hype for anything. Disjointed. No storylines. Too many storylines.
Because I think it's degraded Triple H's, creative booking. And
Yeah, because you have to.
you can
you
only
have
blame
to,
him for it
yeah.
too, because he's the one that's signing off on this stuff.
Yeah,
So
you gotta sell out every show, so every PLE needs to be the biggest thing. So can't move on to the next thing.
what is that bubble?
I just got like a thought bubble come out of my head.
Yo,
What was that?
how'd you do that?
I swear to God, I
That's
didn't do anything.
how I did that.
I feel like I'm on Nick's medicine from the other day.
Hey guys, I live in a cartoon, just so you know.
Wait. I need to know how that happened.
What just happened?
Say,
there?
I had a
need to-
thought. I couldn't
Oh,
quite
there
get
you
it
like.
together.
Oh, I was hoping since you said thought, it would just pop up again. That was so weird. Interesting.
I was thinking. All right, it didn't work.
Weird. All right, we're gonna have to investigate that after. Cool. Good job, Nick.
Well,
That was
right before that thought bubble,
yeah.
we were talking
That
about the
freaked me out for a
schedules.
second. I was
A little
like,
freaked out,
what
too.
is this?
What is this?
Wow, what a moment!
What a
What a moment
moment!
right
What a
there.
moment, Greg.
All right, put you guys on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
Speaking of schedules, NFL schedules just came out. Every team now is going over the top with releasing their schedules. If you're a team, if you're just yourself, Rob, what are you doing to release your schedule? What would be your little premise?
What would
Would
be
you go Minecraft theme? What's happening?
I would
here?
have those thought bubbles come out that just came
Just
out,
thoughtful.
and
Like
within every bubble would be the team and the week. So, ploop. Giants' first game, I think it was Washington, and it would have some like cool music to it. Maybe, maybe some fabulous freestyling or some instrumental or something like that.
little fabulous.
A little fabulous,
The ring general.
They-
Fabulous.
He's Russian too. He's got to be.
Nick, what are you doing?
Either some Cocomelon or just really some haphazard like rock. My schedule is very all over the place, especially these days.
Mm.
Different wake up times, different responsibilities. So, Monday got to run out, drive the kids to school, but then Tuesday you wake up at 6 o'clock and ride your bike to the train.
I feel like Jack Black. That would be suitable for Jack Black right there.
Wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That could work.
What about you,
That would
Greg?
Very boring. I'm just gonna run it down, just right down the screen. Week 1, week 2, week 3,
Star Wars style.
and then out of
I was
nowhere.
just thinking you'd be better off doing the Star Wars thing, letting it go.
Oh, so we're bringing it. We're bringing it that way.
Yeah.
Bringing it that way. And then around like week 4, all of a sudden things start getting a little crazy. Maybe a little italics.
Ooh,
Switch up the font.
italics. Maybe slight font size bigger.
Change the color.
Oh,
Yeah, might do that. And then all of a sudden Jeff Cobb runs out of nowhere, spears me. I'm on the ground. Medical team around me, all showing the schedule as they check on me. They're like,
All right,
like
Greg
week
won that.
5.
people are crying in the background, but they're all
Pure
looking at
cinema.
the schedule.
Week 6.
You have blood coming out of your mouth.
It's just a very strange story. No one really knows what's going on at that point. But that's what we're here to do.
I think your schedule wins.
Definitely not. But I appreciate you giving it to me.
No problem. We need to give you a win.
I needed one. I've been off ever since that 10-second pause. And I think part of the reason now is because I had the spaghetti earlier tonight.
Oh, the spaghetti. Now, most people would just think, oh, he's talking about spaghetti.
Not talking about spaghetti.
Really?
So, remember a few weeks ago when we had my lovely brother-in-law come over, Mr. McGarity, and he brought some Miller High Lifes? Well, I was like, what am I going to do with these Miller High Lifes? Found the spaghetti. So it's Miller High Life. You dump out a little bit of the Miller High Life, add a little bit of Aperol and a lemon. Wow.
Wait, this is real?
It is real. It's called the Spaghetti, a.k.a. the Hillbilly Spritz. It it's
That
the
second
new,
name is way more aggressive.
it's the new drink of the summer.
Wow.
Miller High Life, Aperol, and
This
a lemon.
sounds amazing, but I need my summer bangers. We have not gotten the summertime bangers yet for this year
What
to
are
drink with your
what are
spaghetti.
what are the summertime bangers, Nick?
They're the songs of the summer.
Oh, okay.
They yet to be released.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean?
I thought you were talking about drinks.
No, I'm talking about. I'm not drinking a spaghetti unless I get some new pop songs.
Yeah, you need a
I
good.
need them right now.
Greg's got some recommendations for you.
Mem Day weekend is.
If you're not drinking a spaghetti while listening to Pink Pony Club, come on, man.
We could do that.
That's a jam.
That's a jam right there. It vaguely reminds me of the time that I visited our buddy out in Penn State, and I made my own drink, which was a Miller Lite, just totally mixed with vodka, and I called it a Dome Buster.
All right, no, you didn't have me until you had that name, though.
And let me tell you, my dome was busted for sure.
I mean,
all over, dude.
I like it because that is not really.
That's the Hillbilly Spritz.
That's not a cocktail. That's just pain and torture.
Yeah,
trust me, it
how
was. That was Hillbilly
How do I
Spritz.
achieve a certain level very quickly?
Just mixing two things that don't go together.
Yeah.
How do I punch above my weight class quickly?
I was punching just the ground. Like I was
busted.
That was dome busted, man.
You're getting head sprung.
That's I didn't know where you were going. Okay. So the Hillbilly Spritz. I'll have to try that. I don't generally have Miller High Lifes in my refrigerator, but maybe I'll have one.
Neither do I, but it was there.
But thanks to McGarity for bringing this to us.
Bringing Miller High Lifes to
for bringing the champagne of beers.
The champagne of beers, baby. Do you think Gunther was drinking the champagne of beers when he challenged for the title shot, the Raw after whatever it was? When is he taking his title?
The Raw after Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Backlash?
No, it'll be the Raw. After Saturday Night.
On our show sheet, it said the Raw after Mania. And
you went Saturday Night Main Event.
I was literally Ron Burgundy reading it, the Raw after Mania. So then I caught myself and stopped. So
Saturday Night Main Event.
Yes.
Look, I'm not that excited for Jey Uso versus Gunther 5, but the build can't be any worse than their Mania build was, so whatever.
I mean, how do we know that we're looking at Jey Uso versus Gunther? In between now and with this match, you've got Jey Uso defending against Logan Paul, and then you've got Money in the Bank. Does someone win Money in the Bank and cash in on Jey that night? So, could it be Jey?
This match is after Money in the Bank? It's not after the Saturday Night Main Event?
No, it's after Money in the Bank.
Oh, that's quite a ways out. Okay.
Well, not as we addressed. It's actually only like 3 weeks. It's only 3 weeks now.
It's actually there's a paper. The Saturday Main Event is Saturday, and then Money in the Bank is Sunday. We're just putting things in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how excited I am either for it, but I don't know. I feel like Gunther can't lose, can he? Again?
I mean, he can if you're looking at that Goldberg return that they keep rumoring.
And since SummerSlam's not so far away, it will be June.
Then you're only 2 months out.
Yeah, they could have Goldberg around for 2 months.
Do you think it's possible that Goldberg was supposed to return at Backlash with hair, but because we spoke about it, they decided that maybe we should rethink what we're doing now?
Yeah, they're switching up his hair. They were originally going to give him a do pretty much like mine, but now they're going to switch it over. It's just going to be gold. It's a mix of mine, but like also just Goldberg. They're just going to give him a horseshoe, so he's going to have it around the side
of gold streamers
with a slight comb over, just a few
just
Homer
nice.
Simpsons.
That's good.
That's what you're looking at on top. Do you think it's got to be a little bit tough to hang out with like Goldberg backstage?
Yes.
Like you're just like, oh, Here comes Goldberg again. What are we going to talk about?
You know, I was 100-0 in WCW.
Yeah, do you think Goldberg is one of those conversationalists where it's just very much one-sided?
Oh,
Yeah.
And just telling
completely.
you how great he is?
Yes. Even more so than Bret Hart.
I love wrestling for my son Engage.
Wow, that was actually decent. That was pretty decent, Nate.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good. He loved telling everybody about that, right? And now, didn't I see something about like his son's playing college football somewhere at like a big program?
But he still needs to wrestle for him, even though he's a grown man.
He will be getting married, and he still needs to wrestle for him.
I'm so glad to be here on this joyous day to see my son get married. But it would be more joyous if he could see me wrestle.
Who's next?
Before Gage goes on his honeymoon, he's got to see me wrestle one more time.
Nick, is it true that your son is named after Goldberg's son?
No. He's named after Jeff Lewis's ex-husband, I think.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay.
Is it true though that your Gage has a middle name of Goldberg?
Yeah, his name is Gage Goldberg Morello. That's. And he wakes up every morning and he's like, Gage. Like, well, why do you say your own name? Bro?
What?
Your son wakes up every morning and proceeds to have a sandbag Undertaker in Saudi Arabia.
Oh my God! It just, oh man, that was such a travesty. Poor Undertaker had to go out dirty, man. Goldberg, come on, man. Bret Hart has a lot to say about Goldberg with that kick that he had, that gave him a concussion and then like ruined his career. You ever see that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Please. Bret Hart.
I think anyone who's ever seen wrestling knows about this.
Just making sure nobody said anything, so I'm making sure.
Yo, you ever see when Bret Hart complained about his career being ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, nobody's seen this.
You know,
who would you rather talk to backstage, Bret Hart or Bill Goldberg?
Bret Hart.
Definitely Bret Hart.
Definitely Bret Hart.
He's gonna talk crap about everybody.
Yeah. Goldberg's just gonna bitch how much he was like dissed and like did dirty.
I can't believe they booed me in Brock Lesnar. I'd be like, dude, I just said hello.
Goldberg, I feel like, is also definitely bragging about things that are very like mundane. Like he's like, I want to take you outside, take a look at my new Chevy Equinox, and you're like, dude, it's not that fancy of a car. He's like, I got the Shadow line. You're like, all right, man, that's
great.
All right, what's the difference? You got a black grill, and then like you're 45 minutes into hearing about the car. You're like, come on, Goldberg,
it's a really good gas mileage. Thanks, Goldberg.
Gage loves being driven around, and like your son's
I still put him in a car seat.
He's all getting buckled in. Stay still, stay still. Oh man, that's funny. It's too much. Oh my God. How did we even get there?
Got him.
How did that happen? Gage Goldberg. Oh man. Goldberg's gonna see this and find us and literally jackhammer us while his son watches. Okay. That's amazing. Okay. Well.
All right. Time to go home.
Yep. That's enough.
All right.
We'll see everybody next week. I hope everybody enjoys Saturday Night Main Event.
It's next Saturday.
Whatever. whatever. Oh man, we're out of it. We're
Oh
lost.
my goodness.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We hope you enjoy Saturday night
People
main
were
event next Saturday.
next Saturday. We'll talk to you before that anyway. I hope people are actually watching this and not just listening to it because they would not get it. But that,
All right.
for people that don't know, this is what it is like to watch a pay-per-view, or I guess you should say a PLE with the three of us and other people too. But this is common, and this is the reason why we started doing this. So it's always nice when that happens.
It is pretty good. So good night, Gage. Good night, Russia. Good night, Utah. We'll see you next week. Everyone enjoy Saturday night main event next Saturday.
Saturday.
Goodbye.
Bye.